Hey everyone, CJ here. We are going to analyze the recent winner of the PGA Tour event down in Tampa, Florida. This is John Senden. I happen to know John. He's a great guy, super nice. He practices and lives in the Dallas area. A couple things here. I first want to thank San Francisco Golf Performance Center for putting this video on YouTube and us to use it. So I know a lot of you commented last week and you enjoyed the analysis of the tour player and figured out what you could take away to apply to your game. A couple things we want to talk here with John. Remember what we're kind of looking for. Now he's a tall guy, so he's trying to get down to the ball. You know, he's hitting more of a shorter iron here. But remember, with the posture, what we're looking for is kind of back of the shoulders, tip of the knees, and balls of the feet. So pretty good job. I mean, he's probably 6'3"-ish, 6'4", somewhere in that area. So pretty tall guy, and again, we're hitting a shorter iron. One of the things you noticed if you watched the tournament this week, you noticed that on Sunday he kept missing the ball left. He kept pulling it. And one of the things we're going to talk about here is he was doing sort of a step drill. Now let's talk about his swing here. Let's look at as John goes back. You know, one of the things we talk about with the Perfect Connection golf swing is more of a shoulder plane. So let's get rid of this line. Let's put a yellow line here. So what we want to see is that the club ultimately stays between that red and yellow line. If you stay within that area, you're pretty good. Not a lot of damage is going to be done. Now, as we can see here is with John, as the club goes back, you're going to see that his hands have a tendency to kind of leave that line and start working on the way out. That causes the club to get a little bit in there, but his hands start working just a little too far away at that point. Obviously, again, please understand that, you know, we're kind of critiquing this, and I want to kind of show you some of the things that may have caused John to start missing the ball left. So you can see he's starting to work a little bit outside that yellow line, that club, and he's trying to keep the club in front of him. The one thing that you'll notice with tour players is they don't like when the club gets behind them, but as it comes down, you know, he's coming down definitely right through the shoulder area. Okay. Let's kind of look back at this as this goes just a little bit quicker. So you're seeing how the club is coming down on the shoulder plane right there. Okay. So it is a little bit steeper than some tour swings you'll see on tour. But it's definitely more with what we're looking for with the Perfect Connection swing. Again, if you are a person that, you know, it's always okay to swing above your line, your original plane, but it's never okay to swing below. So as you're seeing here with John, as it's coming down, it's staying right in front of him. This is a pretty good swing. You can see that club basically right behind the hands, really good position. And what he's doing a great job of here is getting off of his right side. You can see the right foot. It might be on there just a little long, but during the tournament, his right foot, he was hanging out too long on his right side. And that with the irons will produce a little bit of a flip. Here he's doing a really good job. You can see how the hands are exiting left before the club head is. That's a great body release. That's really good stuff. That's what we want to see. But again, with what John was doing on Sunday, you know, with the pressure, he was hanging out on his right foot just a little too long. The club was passing him, causing him to hit some pulls and even some draws. What you did notice, though, is on 16, he missed the green. He missed the fairway left, hit kind of a little chunky pull just short left of the green, and then pitched in for birdie, and then made another birdie coming in to win. So, you know, congratulations to John. He's obviously a great player, great guy. But what are some of the things you can take away from this? Number one, okay, pretty good posture. That's what we're looking for. Again, back of the shoulders, tip of the knees, and balls of the feet. Those are some things you all want to achieve at home. What I love about John here, again, this is something for most of you at home, because most amateurs have a tendency to slice the ball and come over the top. If I had one critique of John, I'd probably want to see his hands on that line, on just a little bit more to the inside. I think he has a tendency to work just a little steep here. And again, I think that's one of the things, along with him staying on his right foot too long, caused him to hit some poles under pressure. So what can you see from this? Keep the club in front of you. One thing that John doesn't do, and the club may go a little low at this point, just barely underneath that line. That's just a lack of wrist hinge initially. If he had hinged his wrist just a little quicker, he'd be on that line. But most amateurs, most amateurs whip the club to the inside. And I'm just going to kind of draw some lines here. If you could imagine, the club would come to the inside like this. It then lifts to the top. Just follow the arrows. And then from there, it comes down steep and over the top. So you can imagine almost a Furyk move, if you will, where the club would stay more in front of them and then shallow out. That is more of a tendency that you'll see with tour players. So take that knowledge and apply it to your game. Keep the club in front of you going back. And yes, it's a little steep at this point, but you can see that little reroute, a little miniature, if you will, Furyk, but it's still a great golf swing. And I'm not going to argue with Furyk's swing. He's won definitely more majors than I ever will in my life. But again, this is a point that you'll see with a lot of tour players. Look how closely matching that red line and the original yellow line are. They're pretty close. In a perfect world, he might be just a little shallower, but definitely not bad, He just won, I'm not sure how many he's won, a few times on tour, but it's definitely shallows out right there. And what he's doing great at this moment is getting off his right side a little quicker than he did on Sunday. So understand that with every tour player, or with every player, we can look at what they do poorly, but you have to understand what they do well. And what he does well, and the reason he is obviously on tour, is he keeps the club in front of him. When he does keep the club in front of him, he can shallow it out and obviously get through the ball. Again, understand from John's standpoint, what I was really impressed with is he was doing a little drill where he just kind of stepped through on his downswing. That was ensuring him getting to his left side. The key to playing great golf is knowing what your tendencies are and knowing how to fix them under pressure. He maintained his poise even though he hit some bad shots, and obviously went on, and his short game saved him, just like last week we were watching with Patrick Reed. So short game under pressure, guys. Short game wins tournaments. Let's not fool ourselves. So if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and place them on the blog. If you'd like any help with your swing, remember, as an Insiders member, you can send your swing into me, and we will analyze it and give you a step-by-step approach to help you with your game. So this is CJ signing off for this week. Congratulations to John Senden, a great player, an even greater guy, and I'll see you guys on the blog.